10:17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
I enjoyed just talking for 2 hours.
if we do have anyone that happens to join or come in, we usually don't start this late. We usually start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on Saturdays, but due to people's schedules, start a little later than usual. But welcome, everyone, to our Saturday night D&D session where we follow the exploits of the S team, or Team
I think you mean
Soteria.
shenanigans of the S team.
Shenanigans is also a possibility. Officially licensed by Omindron. And they are also known as the Tribor branch of Acquisitions Incorporated. However, they're currently in Waterdeep, engaging in some
fairly legal activities.
Yeah, you can call it that. Let's say jobs or quests of a personal nature. And so, very recently, I believe you guys were able to stop the Eladrin terrorist Aranus Maldranth by slaying him. In doing so, you have pleased your patron god, Freya, or Freya has pleased her patron god.
Yeah.
And received a weapon as a boon.
I got a kick-ass sword.
You guys currently don't have a permanent place to stay, but for now you're staying in the Ionian Portal, and you awaken the next day after that long battle with Uranus, and the day is yours, so you can decide what you want to do. But to do that, we might need some more people in Roll20.
I'm on mobile. That would be great.
I did have a little bit of stuff. If you guys want to just walk around and explore, you can do that. There's also some possible quests you can pick up as well. Indy and Caxer have things they need to do in the city. There's a lot of options available for you guys.
I mean, I have said that I want to go check out the library at some point.
You did say that. The most prominent one, the one available to the public, the one with the most books in it would be the one located at Ogma's Temple, the Fount of Knowledge.
Yeah. Because I've got just something really funny I want to do at some point. Just walk into his office with a pile of books, say, right, I want to learn how to read these.
Evelyn would totally help you learn to read.
Oh, like half the party's
I
offered.
would stand in the room and laugh.
Yeah, Hannah, like, I can't hear you at all.
I'm going to turn her up.
Sorry.
Wait, you're at
on.
200%. I cannot turn you up anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Much better.
that's better.
Yep.
All right.
I'm literally holding the mic all the way up to my mouth.
Oof.
All right, so you guys just finished breakfast. You got the whole day ahead of you. It's about, let's say, 8, 9 a.m.
Oh, I can set spells.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
just
long
carrying
rest. You
the
guys
sword.
had all your spells back, all your HP back, all that
shit.
stuff. You can prepare new ones.
I have a
Imagine
spell to
Freya's
help
cat.
Freya learn to read today.
Enhanced ability.
Uh-huh.
I've offered so many damn times. Rex gives up.
I imagine Freya's just carrying this great sword with her. Like, she doesn't have a shield. It's like over her shoulder, like the flat on her shoulder. The hand, like the handle. I can't remember the actual word in her hand.
Nate, do you remember how many more poison things I have left of the dagger?
Depends on how many you've used them. You have to apply it usually.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I've used it 2 times.
Yeah, that
I'm
sounds
but I'm
right.
not
Let's go
entirely
with
sure.
that.
Do you remember how many I had?
You had 10. I think you have a on your character sheet. There's somewhere where it says, yeah, poison for daggers. There it is, put it down to 10. 8 from 10. Alright.
Those
I want to take ceremony
So
What
you
was
can
it?
marry people.
Okay.
for the AC bonus.
So we broke up that Fey portal thing, and I mentioned that I was trying to collect all the components of the spell. Are those valuable? Can I make some kind of check on those? I'd like to
Yes,
try to.
you can.
Are any of them forbidden?
So basically, let me roll on con check first, and I'll delegate. Okay, well, you know everything about this. Okay, so basically, what some of the ingredients were, it's just a lot of stuff similar to if you were using. I'm not gonna go see the plane shift spell.
You mentioned some of them were like really hard to find, and I just wanted to know.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff there. There was, but most importantly, you saw a forked metal rod that was strange in how ornate it was, and you got that. But there was also some other things that were particular to the Feywild, and so like crystals from there or something similar, and there was also blood involved, and that being the blood of the humans that were sort of arranged around the magic circle that he had drawn that acted as the gate for the Fey crossing.
Right. Okay. Do they have any specific value? Do I know how to move these? I mean, because I don't have any use for them
crystals
other
themselves,
than.
you're not certain, and like the objects from the Fey wild, you're not certain because you've never really been in the market for them. But the tuning
Right.
rod, you think it's the metal fork. You think it's worth at least probably 200 gold.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna hand that to 9 More Lives and just say like this is really valuable. I'm gonna give it to you, and maybe we can sell it and add it to the party funds one day. And I'm gonna keep the Feywild crystals.
All right.
And so you said the Feywild crystals. I'm just not so familiar with them. They're kind of mysterious to me still.
Yes, because you've read about the Feywild, but you haven't studied or read about. I would think because of the ever changing nature of the Feywild, it's kind of difficult to bring things back and study them in great detail.
Okay, cool.
Whoop!
All right, does anyone have anything pressing they want to attend to?
No.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to.
Who? Tim,
Like,
when did you
one
roll a
minute.
natural 20?
That's what I kind of checked.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Just now? Nice.
So, Caxer, you find yourself probably going up to get a drink from the bar before you guys leave, just one for the road, as it were, and you're approached by a human who's sort of got a robe on, sort of obscuring what they're wearing underneath. They also have their hood up as well, sort of obscuring their face so you only see the lower half. And they approach you, and they sort of sit next to you at the bar and order a drink from Durnan. But in a low voice, they begin to speak to you in Infernal.
Okay. Human.
Yes.
What do
And
they?
it's obviously
like,
not a native speaker because you can tell he's kind of like his accent's horrible and some of the words he's butchering, but he's getting the main point across to you. And namely,
Okay.
you just tell him to fuck off?
No.
Oh.
No, just saying. Okay.
So he says to you something like, thank you for, he says, daughter of the Six, thank you for returning what was lost.
What? Okay. Do I have any idea of what he would be talking about?
Make a
Specifically?
make a perception. No, you wouldn't be able to see this. Make a just intelligence check. Oh, you're not certain.
That's wonderful.
But he continues. He says, we understand that the Dark Prodigy has tasked you with something. If you ever need our help, we are always willing to offer it for a price.
Who is we?
He says, oh, he's like, he's playing off like, oh, how do you not know? Like, of course, like, that's his tone of voice. Like, of course you would know who we are. How could you possibly not? He says, well, followers of Lord Asmodeus, of course.
God damn it.
Okay.
Due to the relationship between your lord and ours, we thought it only appropriate to offer our aid to you. But like all things, it comes with a price.
And what is it you wish of me?
We know, or we have heard of this individual you seek, and we have some means in locating them, but it won't be easy. And for our services, we would like to be compensated a monetary amount, or if you lack the funds necessary, a person of your choosing. However, they must be alive and mostly unharmed.
Define mostly.
Quick out of character question. Do I know if Rex is locate person or if anyone has locate person on? Or is like a spell, do they know?
Too high a level.
Locate
Okay.
person is a 4th level
I don't
spell.
fucking. I don't.
Vera
You
can
don't- you
use
don't
that.
think
I
you
don't
know that.
play. I don't
But
play
we-
spellcasters. I don't know.
Locate object is a 2nd level spell. He did purchase that.
We could locate object if Rex.
Vera has locate person
I have
as
it set.
well. If you want to
I
talk
don't
to
know
her.
anything. I don't know enough about him to be able to locate objects. I don't know about anything he carries or anything. So I need more information. So I think I.
We're not.
Yeah.
We're not having this conversation with her,
No,
right?
No.
Caxter, can you just pull the mic
just-
a little bit away from your mouth?
Sorry.
That's good.
Not better.
Yeah, you're quieter, but you were getting a lot. Earlier you were getting a lot of like.
You were popping a lot.
The lip smack was real.
Yeah, sorry. My mic is shit.
I'll just turn up my volume on the TV. Okay.
Mhm.
So he sort of says, You don't have to answer right away, of course. We'll be seeing you around. We expect great things from you. And with that, he sort of
I
finishes
just nod
his
and go back to my
he
drink. or
finishes
whatever.
his drink and turns and walks around and exits the yawning portal.
Okay, cool. Where's the rest of the group at the moment?
There,
At the table?
Evelyn is sitting next to Freya, telling her that we should read or learn to read.
Well,
It's
I
her new
mean,
mission.
I do need to like get into the library and look at some books. I also need to find a fucking like scabbard or something for his sword.
I'd imagine Rex is kind of in the corner of the tavern, kind of hanging out with 9 More Lives. He was kind of just going through his belongings and divvying up some stuff to give to her.
Yeah, Faye just has this like great sword just over her shoulder, or like on the floor, depending on whichever's easiest, whatever action she's doing.
Does Evelyn have a Lathander book on her?
that's up to you. I mean, I would. You said yourself you're not that religious.
I feel like it's like the Mormons, where you always have like the stuff on you. You just always pull it out.
You have a pamphlet.
Yeah, like a pamphlet. Like, hello.
Is that gonna be your source material to teach him how to read?
Yeah, it would be a good starting point. Like a letter or a journal.
Idiot's Guide to Mormon. The
Or
Idiot's Guide to
Lathander. Yeah.
Even.
Have you heard the word of our dear God, the Thunder? How's it go? How's the Song of Mormon go?
Hello. My name is Evelyn the Swift. And I'd like to share with you this most important book. Copyright.
It's under fair use. We're all good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also not
But that's how it
monetizing.
goes.
We're also not monetizing this too, so there's that as well.
Better be safe than sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Texter is returning to you. I would guess your
I'm
group.
walking back to the table. Where Freya and Evelyn are. Oh, actually, I want to go walk by where Rex is sitting and kind of motion for him to follow me, and then go find Indy wherever Indy is as well before I walk over to the table with Freya and Evelyn.
Yeah. So Rex, I'll kind of collect my stuff that I was looking at, and I'll follow. Absolutely.
I don't know where my headphones at.
Oh, you should know that I decided Evelyn keeps bees.
Do what?
Pardon?
Evelyn likes bees and keeps bees if she could.
Fair enough.
I mean, you
So
can
that's
always
really
tr-
random.
set up
I
a.
was
You
confused.
can always set up
No.
a one in
API.
Triborg. Once you get there, you can set up a bee like a.
So,
Yeah, I think
Farm.
she had one like inspired.
Tribal's first apiary.
one of my family members just, I think, flushed a toilet upstairs, so you just heard a sound like put my microphone in a waterfall. That's just the water going down the pipes.
You couldn't hear anything.
Oh, never mind then.
All right. So for brevity's sake, let's say you're all back at the table you started at before you dispersed. Sort of trying to discuss what the day holds for you.
Is everything okay, Kexter?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to send a text. Sorry, me, not you.
That's okay.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I have a problem.
Oh.
Long story short, I have to find someone in order to gain access to a spell that could possibly bring back dead relic of sorts.
You have to find a person?
Yeah.
Are
Find name.
okay. Are they in Waterdeep?
My informant says that she last saw him in Waterdeep, last knew of him in Waterdeep. He attended the school of, or DM help. He was at the Temple of the Thunder, right? No, at the help.
Nathan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I can't exactly hear because there's background noise. Sorry. So, the individual we're talking about was Caxir. He was a student at the House of Wonder, which is Mistress
That's
Temple.
wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Did you say informant?
Yeah. Turns out my mother of sorts, patron mother, has someone that made a deal with her that has gone on back on their side of the deal, and all she wishes for is access to him so she can figure out her end of the deal since his kind of went down the drain.
So you're making a deal with somebody to catch this person and turn them over?
She wishes for me to find this person. That is and that's what I have to do to get my end
To bring somebody back.
of sorts. Yes.
Who did you lose?
It's more of a question of who I didn't lose. I grew up. I grew up in Waterdeep, but more I grew up on the ocean. I lived on a ship with my mother. She was the captain of a military ship, and our job was to go out on the seas and hunt down pirates and other problems.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat. And through these many, many years, we made many enemies, as one could expect. And one night, one of them got the best of us and sunk our ship, killing, as far as I'm aware, everyone on it. I don't know if I want my mother back. I just want to speak to her one last time, I think, and I think this is the only possible way I can do it. And I'd like some kind of closure in my life. Everything ended so abruptly, I'd like something to go well.
I mean, that makes sense. So if
Can
you
I
find this,
hear that conversation?
Yeah, I brought everyone to the table. Yeah.
Okay.
Ablin needs to look up something real.
Ewan caught none of that, so
That's a good
no!
game, Freya. Wait, no, what just happened? What just happened?
see, I don't have a scabbard for the
Backstory.
greatsword, so she's just kind of carrying it.
Toe
Onyx is playing with my
beans.
I love your cat.
Toe beans, toe beans, toe
Look
beans.
at them beans.
He's the best, y'all.
Hmm.
so we find this person and then you can get closure.
Yes.
And you think they're in Waterdeep?
As far as I'm aware, yes. They were a student at the House of Wonder for many years. Although they
What's their name?
sorry. Abraxas. He was not a very promising student for many years, and then all of a sudden his skill grew exponentially. And I believe that was because he made a pact with the same person, and in exchange for power, he owes her something, but he has dropped off the face of the earth, for all that I know, has not fulfilled his end of the deal, and I don't like liars.
Okay. I've never heard of this person, right, Nate?
No, he's not. As far as
Is
you
that
know,
notable
he's
enough?
not just someone you would have heard. He's not a famous mage like
Yeah, I just figured with me being in Waterdeep.
Jim Dark Magic.
Jim Darkmaster, Hallister, or Vecna. Is nothing. Not a like
Yeah,
a
okay.
household
I
name.
didn't think so. I just figured I'd ask. Okay.
House of Wonders, cleric circles, would Evelyn know it?
You guys were just at the House of Wonder.
Yeah, it's where
I know we were.
Oh my god, what's her name?
Vera?
Vera, yeah, Vera.
She's the most
works.
delightful person, y'all.
I know, I love her.
I mean, we
She's
could just go
awesome.
back and have a chat with Zira.
We should talk to her anyway.
Yeah, well, I did say I'd go back once we'd killed that dickhead. Let her know we didn't die or anything.
I guess it's now or never.
How do you feel about this, Caxier?
I don't know. It's odd because I don't know. Everything ended so abruptly that I don't really know what happened. I don't really know anything other than the ship just going down and fire and screams and water and all of that. And I don't know if my mother wants to come back. I just know that I want to see her one last time. And although this isn't the most pleasant or noble thing to do, I believe that this will let me open a new chapter in my life instead of just looking back all the time.
Well, you know, as Lathander says, it's better to move on and look forward to sunny things and dwell in our past. The new dawn is right around the corner.
I was gonna say it'd be something like the sun rises every morning. Or there's
Yeah,
a new
something
sun
like-
there's a new sun rises every morning is what you would say.
She doesn't get the Lathander stuff like perfect. It's always a little off.
All right. I mean, you could always talk to Vera. You could try to contact that shadowy figure as well. There's like options here you can take.
Yeah, I know that he lived in the once he became like good at magic. He went to the castle. He moved and bought a house somewhere, right? I'm blanking out where it was.
Yeah, he
The
bought a
Castle
house
Ward?
in the Sea Ward because he did a lot of favors for nobles and they paid him well for that. And he was able to purchase a house in the Sea Ward. And after that, you don't know where it is exactly because the House of Wonder, you did go to the House of Wonder to sort of research that stuff, but they didn't keep records of that.
Yeah, and
Once he sort of left school.
And I have reasons to believe that he is guarded by somewhat strong magic, I believe, because the woman who he made the pact with is unable to find him, and she is not any small goddess. So she has powers far beyond any that I could ever wish for, and she cannot find him. So although I want this to end well, I don't know where to start.
Well, the last information you have is House of Wonders, correct?
Yes.
And we need to talk to Vera anyway, after Freya took care of that Fae thing. So we might as well head there.
Well,
Agreed.
I mean, visiting
always
Vera is
happy to
always
see Vera.
fun.
Or, we can ignore the information and go have beach day.
Beach day.
Beach day.
Number 2.
It's always a possibility. You might want to find a better spot than the mud flats. So
But I think the faster you take care of this, the faster one takes care of their problems, the faster you can go to the...
Or we just go to the beach.
Like, I still don't understand why this beach thing is such a big appeal. Like, surely a river has like the exact same effect.
There's no rivers in
No.
Waterdeep.
No. There's nothing quite like the ocean, and if you've never seen it, that needs to be amended as soon as possible. Not today, but soon.
Freya, can you swim?
Do we take Frey to the beach?
No, you didn't. Also, I didn't hear anything of what Hannah said, and I feel like it was directed towards me. That's fine. Yeah, I can swim. I'm not. Well, I am a barbarian, but I'm not a barbarian. Like, that's one of the
Freya.
things you get taught.
Freya, do you know how to swim?
Like, yes, like you get taught to swim in the clans. Like, what was if you're falling in the river or anything? Even like the fucking wizards get taught to swim, and they don't go out that much.
Okay, good.
Evelyn will start walking to the House of Wonder.
all right. As the decisionist, that's probably appropriate.
I'm making a decision.
I'll follow.
So you guys start heading to the House of Wonder. It will take you a while
It's
to get
on
there.
the way to the beach.
So
Let's go to the beach.
it will take you about an hour and a half to get there.
Who am I?
Just walking. Once
On
again,
the way, is there a store where we can get Freya like thingy bobber?
No, I want to see it around.
thingy bobber is kind of
Kevin.
vague.
Yeah, I want to see all the weird looks she's gonna get just walking through like Waterdeep
On the
Just
way there. Does
with
it
a
involve
sword
I wanna
over her
meet?
shoulder.
Yeah, so you do get some weird looks, and the guards are kind of like eyeing you suspiciously, but you don't seem to be like of a mind to swing it, so they're kind of leaving you alone right now. But make a perception check, Freya.
Ooh.
We don't. Do we have a Discord? No, I don't have a D&D bot in Discord. I don't know. I don't know what my perception score is, to be fair.
It is 1 second.
Evelyn has her shield strapped to her back, by the way.
Plus 5.
Damn, I'm good at perception.
And just for general, the only weapons that are visible in Hexer is her scimitar. All the other daggers are hidden.
Oh, I got a 24. Nice.
All right, so you think that the way you're sort of cavalierly holding this sword has in fact attracted the notice of the guard, and you think you see at least 3 guardsmen following you, but they're maintaining a respectful distance.
I honestly don't think she cares.
Your new sword is much too shiny to notice, to pay much attention to them. But you do notice them you're sort of like looking you're holding up, looking at yourself in the reflection of it, and you see them behind you.
What are you doing?
But you make your way. You aren't stopped by the guard, but you make your way to the House of Wonder unaccosted. You once again begin to climb the steps up there. Today the flames outside are blue today, not green like they were yet the last time you were here. And you push open the door to this tower and make your way in once again to the sort of foyer where there's a lot of, this early in the morning once again, class is in session. So there are a lot of students and teachers walking around. You don't see Freya. I mean, not Freya. You do see Freya. You don't see Vera. But you sort of got a feel for this place last time you were here. So you're not like deer in headlights anymore.
Do they have a library?
Yes.
They do have a library at the House of Wonder, but it's not of the scope of the Font of Knowledge.
Do they have like a primary school book for children?
That would not be here. The House of Wonder
Okay.
mainly concerns itself with magic study, so the kids here are already expected to know how to read. Because you have to read the spell book to be a wizard.
Hear that, Freya?
You have to be able to read a spell book to cast spells as a wizard. So it's kind of something you just got to do. Got to know.
We would know if Vera was teaching, right?
Yeah, she did have a class. She serves as a guest teacher while she was here in Waterdeep. But the time of day is a little bit different, but you can always go and see.
I would head to her office.
So I think she didn't have an office. She had a room. Because she's not a tenured like a professor or anything. She's a guest, so she has a room, and she carries all of her stuff she needs for her classes in a box in between them.
Then I would go to her room to check there first.
All right. So you see that plain sort of wood door that you were at last time, but once again there is no knob. There's just a metal plate where a doorknob would be.
Can I knock on the door?
Yeah.
Also, does Evelyn know if the colors outside is weird or not? Is that normal?
Make a history check.
Can I do that too? I was also wondering about that.
As in the fires?
Yeah.
Yeah.
History?
Yeah, because you've been in Waterdeep for a while,
God,
so.
holy shit.
Caxer, you're not certain, but you do recall, Caxer, that it was a different color last time you were here. Not the time you helped out Freya, but the time you were studying about Abraxas, it was a different color then. It was yellow flame then. Evelyn, you think that they have a sort of every day. They have a different day of the week. There's a different flame that the fire is in the braziers outside, sort of signify what day it is. Because sometimes people study a bit too long indoors and don't get outside much. So just
What
having
color's the frame today?
Feel attacked.
it is blue.
You said it's blue, right?
Yes.
Oh, darn.
So to have it just look out any window and see a giant flame. That's the corresponding color. It can sort of let you know what day it is.
Okay, and what day is it?
Oh man, I don't know what day. What I know what year it is. It's 1492. Let's say today is a Saturday,
Sure.
or whatever the D&D
Green was
equivalent
Saturday.
is. Because
That means green was Friday.
Is it blue?
yeah,
Today it's blue.
Blue. Cool.
Okay, Evelyn knocks, and like a imagine, if you will, like a short rapped knock that means business, but it's not like the police knocking on your door.
So you hear a muffled voice. You're like, just a minute, and you hear the
Which takes
sounds.
a step back.
You hear the sounds of like someone making themselves sort of presentable, and
What time is it?
it's about 10 a.m.
Okay, I don't feel as bad.
But then you hear, make a perception check. This is hearing, if that matters. All right, so you hear, you obviously hear the sound of someone getting ready.
You should know my passive perception is 17.
Okay, yeah. So just listen at the door. You can hear someone obviously getting ready through it. And then you hear them like curse. They say something in Elvish, and it's because you hear the sound of an impact, and they might have stubbed their toe on something. And
No clue what they said.
but you've heard Elvish spoken before, I would imagine, at least in passing, maybe. So they're saying something in Elvish, and then there's more Elvish, and then they sigh, and they're like, and then it's a really deep sigh, and you're like, it's like, who is it?
It's Evelyn of Team C, Acquisitions Incorporated.
Team S.
Sorry,
was that
Team
Vera?
S.
Was that Vera's voice?
Yes, that was Vera's voice.
Okay.
And so the door opens with a crack at first, but when she sees who it is, she says, "Oh, Evelyn, nice to see you." And she like lets out like a little yawn. She's like, so early in the morning. Please come in. I'm sorry for the mess.
Freya wants to know what Vera said because she speaks.
Oh, so she said something like, it was a curse, and then it was like, ow, that really hurt. And then she cast healing on herself.
Mood.
Evelyn says, "Oh, I didn't realize it was early for you. I've been up since dawn."
She's like, "Oh yeah,
No.
I'm usually
Morning, Lorden.
It's the weekend, so as we do have classes on the weekend, but I don't teach during them, so it's kind of like my day off. And I was, reading last night, stayed up pretty late, and scribing stuff in the spell book. You know how it is. And so I gotta apologize for all the mess, and you see her like cleaning things up and casting prestidigitation along with it, and it's like, Rex, you would recognize just a lot of spell components. Like, she's obviously experimenting with magic and spells in her room.
Please don't clean up on our account. We just have a question and an update.
Can I tell what she's trying to cast?
Make an Arcana check.
Damn it.
And you also notice that she's not wearing her usual armor. She's wearing like just like simple kind of like whitish. They're not super loose fitting, but she's wearing like white robes. So the spells that she's trying to cast seem you're not familiar with some of them.
Did it seem like that old magic nonsense she keeps working on?
It's not that. It's something else.
Okay.
Let me see. 1 second. What she's trying to cast? I know I have it somewhere, but she is trying. Now I'm Mac. I can't find it. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay, so she is trying to cast you think based on what she's doing, she's trying to cast high-level enchantment spells.
Okay.
More specifically, actually, you don't know any of this, but you're not certain. But you've read about some of them, but you can't pinpoint exactly what one she's trying to do at your current level.
Okay.
And she says, "Yes, sorry about that. Just experimenting with some things. So what was the question?"
Evelyn would gesture to Caxier.
I was like, "Oh, first, right. Hugs, of course." She hugged you, I think, Evelyn, as you came inside because you've already established that you're a hugger, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
So there's a sort of unspoken permission there, so she just hugs you automatically now. But everyone else, she goes around and hugs everyone, and then she once again tries to pull enough chairs for all of you, but she has not acquired any new ones
I
in the
stand.
days since you've seen her. So some of you can sit on the
So you
floor, on
just,
her
like,
bed.
One hand hugs her, like, twists the sword away from her.
Her bed is like neatly made, as in she didn't sleep in it last night. But there's a desk here with a chair
That's
next to it.
interesting.
I'll just stand at the door. I don't want to hit anything with this. I just kind of waggle the sword a bit.
Oh, and she does take notice of that. She's like, wow, that looks amazing. You do see like she's looking at it with like her glasses are sort of falling down her nose, but she pushes them up to look at the item that you have. And she's
Yeah, it just kind of turned up last night.
She says, where did you so you just found it? You don't usually find a magic item of this caliber just, in the trash or in the yawning portal.
Well, I went to bed. I think I had a dream. I can't remember. Then I woke up and I had a sweet-ass sword.
She says, you did mention to her, correct me if I'm wrong, that an elven goddess talked to you, right?
The others did.
Okay.
I was present when they told
So
her.
she says, did you please your deity?
I mean, I guess so. I don't really have a deity, but I guess one of them's been happy with what I've been doing.
She says, she says, Frey, you have a deity.
I don't follow any of them. I offer a couple of prayers up. Well, I used to before I was going into battle. But I didn't worship any of them like this lot. And she kind of gestures her hand in a circle.
As well, you might not worship one or follow one, but the magic you use is divinely sourced.
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
But anyway, it is good to see you all again, but I don't think you guys came here just to show off that amazing magic weapon.
You'd be right in that assumption. I'm looking for a loveless relative by the name of Abraxas. I believe he was a student here. He's been a student here for a couple of years. Have you seen him lately?
Oh, him. He hasn't. She lets out a sigh, like, oh, this guy, like this d-bag. It's like, and she says, I haven't seen him around in a while. Like, how long has it been? I don't know. It was before I started adventuring, before I got recruited to the P team, before I was even in that forest and got attacked by those Ettins. It was 7 years ago. He thought he was all fancy because he got great with magic all of a sudden, and then stated that this school is beneath him and that he'll only work for those he deems worthy or who offer him a lot of money, and he'll do things his way from now on, and that and he just came across as kind of not a nice person, and then left all of a sudden, which is really weird because he wasn't that great with magic, and then all of a sudden he got better.
I'm well aware.
I mean, is that generally not how it works? You're bad at magic, then you get better.
yes, but over
No, that's
it's like yes, but over time, was here before he got good at magic. He got here. He was here like 5 years before that, and didn't really make any headway in learning about the arcane. I mean, he could cast some cantrips and like first level spells, and he finally managed to cast a second level. And he had a huge celebration, well, personal celebration from that.
I mean, maybe it's one of those like one of those weirdos who like do contracts and stuff to get their magic. And the Fae wouldn't say that she wouldn't know about that. Like, I don't know, maybe it just got better. Like that does happen sometimes.
That varied. Well, I don't know if he did or didn't. I just know how he acted after he changed or got good. Why do you want to find him anyway?
Kexer.
sorry. My thing,
That's okay.
it's been going in and out. What did you say? What did you say? Sorry, I didn't.
She's asking why you want to find Abraxas, who she obviously doesn't like. In fact, this is the only person that you have seen her disparage in any sort of way besides Jim Dark Magic. So
Wonderful. That actually makes me feel a lot better. It's amazing to believe that he's done someone wrong, and that by apprehending him, may be able to gain a favor that I sorely need.
she's looking at you, Caxier, and she says, and then you hear a voice in your head. It says, "That's kind of vague. Do you want to go into further detail? You don't have to if you're not comfortable, of course." It's her voice in your head.
Do I get the sense that she cast message?
Yes, she has.
I don't have to speak out loud, right?
No, you don't.
Okay. I would tell her the full story then. Like the whole pact and everything from.
So it's just like there's like this staring contest between between Vera and Caxier for like a good 3 minutes, and they're just staring at each other, and it's getting real awkward. And then
I feel like a minute in, Faye just kind of waves her hand in between the two of them.
I grab her hand and smack it down.
But she's like, oh, at the end, you're like the sort of communication between you telepathically is broken. She's like, oh, Caxier. Oh, she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know all of that.
Emily wasn't paying attention.
I didn't know all of that. Are you sure you want to? Are you sure you want? I can help you find this person. Are you sure you want to do this?
I know that I want to speak with her. I don't know if I want her to stay. I've already agreed to this, so it's just about when I manage to get around to doing it. I'd prefer to get it over with as soon as possible.
Okay, well, I can help you find Abraxas. I still remember what he looks like, so it should be fairly easy to do. And she goes to her desk and pulls and off of it takes her spell book and opens it up and says, once again, this is not how you usually cast Scrying. I just need to let you know that in case you learn the spell later and try to do it the way I'm doing it. This isn't how you do it. Okay.
She's like looking at. Is she like looking directly at Rex or something?
Yes, she's looking at Rex and she's looking at Evelyn.
Great.
I'm sorry, what?
Vera's explained to you that this is not how you actually cast Scrying.
Oh,
Whoops.
Okay.
You're
I feel
not
like-
doing that to me again.
I don't know if Evelyn would have seen that in the temple, but she believes Vera. I think Evelyn thinks that, like, to each their own. It's always a little different.
All right. So she then says once the book is open, she says Abraxas, and then there's like the room dims and the pages start to turn on their own, and then they rest on a certain page, and that once again that holographic projection above her spellbook comes out, and you see once again that blue orb that those scholars among you would recognize as Toril, and then it zooms in to Faerun, it zooms in to the Sword Coast, zooms in to Waterdeep, but then it stays there in Waterdeep. And you see something kind of like static, or like maybe like a bad signal on a TV. Like it's gets really choppy and there's lines you see on the projection, and then you see Vera say like, "That's weird," and then she like, you know, obviously she's concentrating very hard on this spell now, whereas before she was her face was sort of placid. Now it's like scrunching concentration, and then but the image doesn't zoom in further. In fact, it's still just sort of like very staticky over Waterdeep, and then Vera actually begins like shaking, and then you see like silver fire form around her hands, but it doesn't burn. It does not. It also envelops her spellbook, but doesn't burn it. And then around the sort of sphere, the holographic sphere, you also see sort of a corona of silver fire as well.
Can I shut the spellbook?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as I see that, can I run over and like slap the spellbook out of our hands?
Yeah.
All right, I need you if you touch her in this state. Okay, I need you to take. Because she's like she has like fire all around her essentially. It doesn't appear
I'm
to
going
be
for the spellbook, not for Vera.
okay. Well, the fire has enveloped the spellbook.
Okay.
I'll take some fire damage.
Okay.
I'm resistant to it, so.
But you get close to you, and she says wait to you in Elvish, and then she says, and she says and she's like through gritted teeth, she says wait. She's like, I got this, and then you see like a little bit of blood come down her nose, and then or out of her nose, and then the image it was sort of about a few thousand feet above water. You could clearly see the outline of the city, but then it moves over to the castle ward, and then it goes over the yawning portal, and then there's essentially a magic implosion, and the spell fails, and the Vera is sort of knocked back, and the book falls out of her hands and clatters to the floor along with her.
You said she's bleeding out of her nose?
Yeah.
She hit the floor?
Yes, she did.
Evelyn would in a
She hit
heartbeat
the
cast.
floor. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you need to,
I'm casting healing word. First level.
yeah. Not if any beats you to it.
Is there fire still around things?
And then the fire dissipated. That was what imploded and caused a knockback on her.
Can I just mage hand and pick her book up and just keep it? I'm not gonna take it from her, but I just want it off the floor.
Okay, yeah.
I see them
That's
reacting to
11
her.
points of healing.
Okay. So
Nice.
she is that actually like knocked her unconscious, and then when you hit her, she gets up and goes and she's like, "Did you see that? Did you see?"
I saw.
Yeah, you see, this is
So
why I
you
don't
covered
do
in blue
magic.
flame. Blue flame around your book.
It was
Blue
That's
flame.
it was silver flame. I mean,
Silver
Sorry.
flame.
yeah, just she says, "Yes, that happened."
Silver flame.
She says, "Yes." I suppose she's like looking like embarrassed. Like I suppose I did.
You see, this is why you don't do magic. It's fucking dangerous.
So is that sword you're waving around?
Well, yeah, but you're not gonna have a fucking magical explosion with a sword. It hits shit, and you know what you're fucking hitting. It's not gonna hit you back.
She's like, I would love to sit down with you, Freya, and talk to you about the intricacies of the arcane, but I don't think you guys have the time right now. But she's speaking out of breath. She's obviously, this has taxed her greatly, and she says, "There's only 2 places in Waterdeep that have wards this powerful that prevent divination magic. One is the Black Staff Tower. The other is the Undermountain."
Do I know what either of those things are?
So yes, being a resident of Waterdeep for so long, you have heard tales of the Undermountain, a massive dungeon sprawled out beneath the city. People that go to it, adventurers that descend into its depths, usually don't come back, and if they do, they are changed in some way. You would also know that the Yawning Portal is so named because the giant hole in the middle actually descends into the first level of the Undermountain. And occasionally, creatures will climb up the hole and have to be sort of beat back down into it. There's also a sort of fairy system set up there that you can pay Durnan, the proprietor of the Yawning Portal, and he will sort of lower you down into the Undermountain.
Nice.
Sounds fun. So I share that with the rest of the group if they aren't aware of it already.
So your friend's under the mountain, huh?
Or in a tower.
Probably. I have a feeling that he's in the Undermountain as the spell stopped of the Yawning Portal, which means we know more than I hoped he did.
Vera, did he have enough magical talent to become Blackstaff? Or
No, the Blackstaff is, I think her name's Vajra. That's
work
DM
with
speaking. That's
her
DM
power?
speaking. She says no. If you're going to the Undermountain, you need to watch out for someone named Halster Blackcloak. If you see him or any of his disciples, just run. Don't mess with them. He's the one that set up all those wars on the Undermountain. He's crazy.
Is that name? Was you say is that name familiar to Evelyn or?
Any of us?
It's a history check with like super, super low DC because he is pretty famous. Rex, you would just know this because he's a wizard like you. Halster Blackcloak is a very famous wizard who, very old, very powerful, and he went insane. And he sort of took over the Undermountain for his own personal use, lab, whatnot. And the reason why so many adventurers don't come back is he conducts all sorts of magical experiments down there. And often those always don't work out well. And so he sort of sets them loose to patrol the Undermountain. But like Vera almost like spits when she says Halster Blackcloak, and then she gathers herself and sort of like closes her eyes and breathes in deeply and goes, and then she's briefly illuminated by that silver flame one more time, and then when she exhales, it all dissipates. She says, "That's better."
Evelyn thinks she healed herself.
Yes, but not in a way you understand.
Interesting.
Well, all magic is different.
And she says, "Yes, so the Undermountain is a very dangerous place. When you're there, I went there once to sort of look around, and I mean I didn't get very far, but I know enough to know that, like I said, divination doesn't work there. You can't look into it, and you can't look out of it. Once you're in there, you're sort of stuck. You can also only enter physically as well, or exit physically. Halster is crazy, but he's still very powerful.
How does that work?
And he's been down there for who knows how many years, longer than I've been alive. And he's just peppered the walls, and she would be saturated. He was saturated the walls of the Undermountain with powerful magic wards, preventing divination magic and teleportation and the like as well.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, that's all sort of the information she has for you. She says, I think that's all I know about it. I haven't really studied it much.
Thank you, Vera. You've
Thank
done
you.
more than enough. Please get some rest.
Oh, yeah, I will. I'm tired, kind of tired. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Please do. Evelyn hugs her goodbye and leaves the room.
She gives everyone a very tired hug, and then like pulls open the covers of her bed, and then gets inside, and then you see her cast Mage Hand and open the door for you. There's a knob on this end, and then say, "Member." It's like she's very sleepy, but it's like, "Member, Blackcloak, bad person, run away." And then she sort of passes out.
Can I tuck her in?
Yeah, you can tuck her in.
Yeah. I go do that. I gain +1 wholesomeness.
All right. So the door closes automatically behind you guys as you step back out into the hall, armed with this new information. Do you proceed back to the Yawning Portal and to the Undermountain?
I'm in if you are, Kexer.
Yep. Yeah, I'd just head back to the Yawning Portal for now, and then we can reconvene. I guess that's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys make your way to back to the Black Portal. It's now about midday. You see a very if you're heading back to your room or a table, well, about lunchtime.
Okay.
I mean, while we're here, we might as well stop for lunch.
Go for a beer.
Aye.
It's not as crowded as nighttime, but there is a few patrons about. One in particular looks very familiar to you. It's a young woman with dark hair and dark eyes, and she sort of raises a glass to you guys as you are looking around for a place to sit. Just friends, please sit with me. And you can very clearly see it as Esvela Rosnar.
Evelyn
Yeah.
gets a smile on her face and walks over,
Go
but
over.
takes the long route to see if there's anybody paying attention.
So
Make a perception
that's
check.
the
As
That's a good.
the noble
Can I
that
do
you
the same?
befriended, also known as the
I.
Black Viper at night.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Her persona, her.
Frey just walks over.
Make a perception check, Evelyn.
Can I, if I notice her looking around, can I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can as well.
5.
Okay, so
11.
oh,
Nat 20.
so
Nice.
both of you notice this because they're not far from her, but sitting at another table adjacent to hers is a group of maybe a group of guards that are fancily dressed. And you recall that she did say that due to her sort of headstrong nature, she's not allowed outside of the estate without her minders. And you think these might be them because they have taken interest in you once she addressed you.
I have my Lathander pamphlet ready to go.
Cax does her best to like put up her hood or like change her appearance, or like look less like she normally does without it looking suspicious.
Evelyn will turn to you guys and say, turn to Cax and say, I'll see you at the room. If Caxir wants to like take the opportunity to do it around and change her appearance.
I don't have any spells. I can't do that.
Gotcha.
But, yeah. I'm just like on the way over, like flip up my hood or something.
She just sit, and you see that she has a plate of food in front of her, and she's drinking this like bubbly drink out of this glass. But she is by herself at this sort of large table.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sit down. Just put the lean it against the table, I guess.
And she says, "What can I get for you guys? It's my treat."
I'm fine with like just a beer, honestly, and like whatever's good for lunch.
What does the Yawning Portal have?
Nine Portal is a tavern, probably a little bit on the upper end, middle to upper end, due to its location in the Castle Ward. It's also sort of Waterdeep, Sword Coasty famous. A lot of people come in and out.
Evelyn wants the
Nine
special.
Portal.
Evelyn wants the special.
All right, you get some. Let's get some roast beef with potatoes and carrots, and a little bit of a salad thrown in as well for good measure. And
Also have a special drink.
she says, "Well, I'm drinking Tsar, which is my favorite, but and I can order some for you, or there's also others you can get. They have, like, I mean, you're staying here, you know, they have anything you can think of, pretty much."
Max just wants water at this
I
point.
generally get something strong or whatever's
But
going.
don't worry, it's on me. So they get you like the Elvish equivalent of I forgot what it's called. Everclear. And they pour you like it's a tiny shot of that. And that's served to you. Freya, the rest of you can get what ever you want. Well, I'm not going to dwell too deeply on this. But as you're sort of eating, you begin to talk to Esveda. She's asking how you guys have been since she last saw you 2 days ago. Is there anything noteworthy happen? Anything interesting?
Got this cool sword.
We went to the beach.
Oh.
We went to the mud flats. It wasn't.
Specifically in the mud flats. It was an impromptu trip. You know how those go sometimes.
She's like, well, if you're going to go to the beach, you should try Deepwater Isle. You get a lot better beaches there than the mud flats. In fact, if you can go on the end facing the open ocean rather than the harbor, that's for the best. It's the best water there. The water in the harbor's kind of dirty.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Are her guardians listening on our conversation?
They are, but since it's sort of mundane, at least this opening round of conversation you're having, they're quickly losing interest.
When we visited her at her place, was she working on like needlework or?
She was
What was
teaching
that?
her younger sister the history of Waterdeep.
Oh, what was her sister's name?
1 second. I have it here, but it's something Italian. I think it's Rosalina. Let me make sure.
How's
Spaghetti, linguine.
How's
Mario.
Rosalina's history study coming?
Yeah, it's Rosalina. She says, "Oh, Rose is doing fine. We're at about 1,000 years ago, up to, and she's learning about the events taking place in the city then, the factions, the government, that sort of thing. She doesn't really like it, but I am incentivizing her with some sweets. So a little bit of bribery, but if it gets her to learn, what's the harm, I say?"
Still need to check the library about history, actually. I keep remembering. Guess we'll do it after this thing then, after what we're planning to do.
What are you trying to look up again, Frey?
Oh, just what, why we're actually stood out out in the woods beating up innocent civilians. See what dickhead and Waterdeep decided that was a good idea.
Evelyn goes, I really like your outfit today. Have you gotten any new jewelry to go with it?
So, she says, unfortunately, I haven't got. It's like, first off, she says, "Thanks for noticing it. I like what you're wearing too." She says, unfortunately, I haven't had time to go to the drawers and get any new jewelry, but I'm making use of ones I have already found, and I've discovered that there's quite a history to some of them.
Oh, please go on. I love history of jewelry.
She says, strangely enough, the necklace that I'm wearing was crafted by a prodigy that came out of the field ward. Strange, I know, it being the poorest ward in Waterdeep. You wouldn't expect a prestigious jeweler or individual to be from there or to visit there often, but a noble did take note of this person's skill and recruited them for their own use.
How unusual. But fabulous. I'm so glad anybody in this city can make their way on the up and up.
Yes, it just goes to show that anyone that a skilled individual can be from anywhere, even the field ward.
Do you get to go shopping later today after lunch, or do you have to go back home?
And she says, unfortunately, after this, I'm just out on the town for a little bit, stretching my legs, but I do have to go back. There's a little bit, and this she does drop to a sort of whisper, sort of voice, sort of things like a little bit of a crisis at home.
Evelyn will whisper back, "You don't say."
She says, yes. She's like getting quieter and quieter when she says this. She says, it appears my older brother has gone missing. Last he was seen, he was entering the Undermountain at my parents' direct orders, trying to reach the underground town of Skullport. He's been missing he's been due back for quite some time, so we only assume that he's missing, wounded, and Undermountain unable to return, or worse. In fact, some of the more concerned members of our family are even offering a reward for information about Chrysando, where he is, or the return of his body, if he is in fact deceased.
Got to say, that's pretty convenient.
Such an individual would be willing
So-
to... Such a concerned individual would be willing to offer all that they have at the current moment, somewhere around the total sum of 2,000 gold.
I'm so sorry to hear that. How awful. Is there anything I or the House of Lathander can do for you?
Well, if you happen to find yourself, as many adventurer has, in the Undermountain, and you come across a person bearing a platinum signet ring with a white falcon on a field of blue, and the inscription "Fly high and stoop swift," you'll know that you've found the right person.
What Evelyn wants to say something along the lines, but the way she's been talking, along the lines of, and what do we do if we find such a signet ring?
Well, if it's not in the possession of a human man around 22 years of age, with a fair complexion and dark curly hair, then its return would be most appreciative.
Well, I'll certainly make sure that anybody going to Undermountain knows that it's incredibly important that the Rajnars.
Well, you see, I wouldn't want this
And
if
she and she says that very, very quietly.
oh, just
And stresses anyone.
well, she says
Um
yes, it is. Well, but she does say that due to she says, well, yes, that is a good. That generally speaking, that would be good, but due to the sort of public opinion of our family, I would like to.
I completely understand.
Tell everybody.
I would like to own I'm sure that House Rajan would appreciate if only people that they trust or certain members of the family trust were to undertake this task.
I just kind of lean and whisper, like, you can't tell her we're planning to jump down the big hole. I mean, she's one of our mates.
Evelyn's already told her that.
I thought you were just being subtle
Ave-
about it.
Evelyn is what the party doesn't know that Evelyn is speaking in this third language she has, which is noble code.
What?
It's like Thieves' Cant, but only fancy people can understand it.
Oh, that's just
Exactly.
I feel like Fade still says that then.
But she says, if you could search, if she knows Thieves' Cant too because she's a rogue. So if you're
I don't know Thieves' Cant.
no, I'm saying to Caxia, if you're signing to her like doing the bi-language stuff of Thieves' Cant, she'd be responding to you. But she says, yes, as Chrysanda was headed towards Skullport, I would look for him somewhere between the first and third levels of the Undermountain. If someone was to go down there, that's where they would obviously look. And she to Caxer, she would just sign. She would sign or Thieves' Cant. She would say, "My dumb parents sent my dumb brother Chrysando down to Skullport to try to set up a slave ring there. However, Skullport's run by drow, so I'm not sure about the trustworthy nature of any deal they make, and they might end up killing him. If you could find him or his corpse for me, or she would say his body, that'd be great."
Tex just kind of like nods back. Okay, I'll discuss this with the team later. And we
What
will
the hell is
contact
going
you.
on upstairs?
Regarding your decision.
But she does also say like, he should also offer you Cax's description and the signet ring of their house, which is what she said earlier to Evelyn out loud. It's a platinum ring. He himself is a 22-year-old man with fair skin and dark curly hair, so he looks like his complexion and his hair color is similar to his sister, his younger sister. And then like Esvela, you can see now on her finger, she also has this as well, on her right ring finger. There's a platinum signet ring there with a diving white falcon on a field of blue. And if you look really close, you can see an inscription in common that says, "Fly high and stoop swift."
I posted it in chat, guys.
Yeah, I did too.
2,000 gold.
Wait, 2K? Dang.
I'm in. I got spells to do. I heard 2,000 earlier. Just seeing it in writing was more exciting.
Well, I hope you find him.
Yes,
She winks. Evelyn winks.
he's like, even though he's my older brother, I don't agree. She says, even though I don't always agree, I mean members of the Rosnar family don't always agree with each other or the family's business, we do still care for each other. I mean, they still care for each other.
Evelyn would also ask, is there anybody looking for him?
She says, she would say, my parents aren't concerned. I mean, the head of House Rosnar isn't concerned quite yet, even though his own son, his firstborn, has been due 2 days ago.
Whoa.
He's convinced that his son has spent more time in Skullport, enjoying everything the city has offered, sampling its wares, so to speak, setting up the finer points of a business deal with that town.
Has your brother ever gone on any other missions like this?
Or in
It to you, Kekri says this is. She says,
I'm saying this all in Thieves' Camp.
yeah. So she's speaking to everyone, but she's also signing to Caxir too, and she's saying like essentially the same thing. But she also says, this is the first time that my brother has openly tried to engage in the family, what should have been formerly the family's business. But my parents are adamant on starting up again, even though that's what got them kicked out of Waterdeep in the first place. And she says, honestly, they're so dumb. And I hate them.
Jack just like smiles and nods.
But this is the first time my parents have been trusted with this task to Crescendo. Or a task of this magnitude, rather.
I assume we're done eating our food by now.
Yeah.
And
How strong was this alcohol?
A shot, well, Everclear is like 95% alcohol, like 190 proof. So that's why they only gave you a shot of it.
It's like asbestos.
It is. It's essentially the highest alcohol content it could be before just instantly evaporating. So think about it that way.
Just ignite.
It's not always it's not legal in every country.
can Freya hold her liquor?
Or every state, even.
Yeah. Freya can hold her liquor.
She's like, well, it's like due to the sort of recent events at the she's sorry, I had a brain fart. She says, due to the recent events concerning House Rosnar and the threat of the Black Viper at night, it's best for me to return to the estate as soon as possible. Do come by and visit once you finish up whatever job you're currently on. I do so love to hear tales of your adventures.
Can I ask?
Yeah, we will do. Stay safe yourself. Don't get cut out or anything.
And also,
Do you have that?
wait, no, Caxter, she didn't tell you about this person, so she wouldn't have.
I was just gonna ask something else, but never mind.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you heard any whispers if the Black Viper is going to be active in the near future?
He says,
In Dave's camp, obviously.
yeah, she says the Black Viper is always active, but recently she's been shadowing a certain noble. You should talk to Evelyn about that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what? She hasn't been out recently. Is she going out in the future, I guess? Was the
No, she
question.
said the Black Viper is always active. Is what she said. This isn't Thieves' Camp.
Gotcha. Well, get home safe. We wouldn't want you to go missing either.
She was quiet.
Quietly.
And she stands up, and as soon as she does, all these sort of her minders were sort of dozing off, not really paying attention. But as soon as she stands up, they go, "Oh!" And they sort of stand to attention and up with her. And she turns to face, and they give her a slight bow, and then they sort of follow her out of the yawning portal.
Ailey would have done the 2-kiss cheek thing and whisper and said, "We'll be by as soon as we can."
Yep. In case you didn't exactly catch what she
And
was
then
putting
Evelyn
down,
tells everybody what's going on.
you can always roll an intelligence
We get up to the rooms.
check. Evelyn.
Oh, what?
In case you didn't exactly catch what she was putting down, you can always roll an intelligence check. But I think you
Oh,
got it.
Evelyn got it.
Okay.
I wrote down notes. Also, I didn't know I could speak noble. That's new.
I assume it's like Latin or something. There's just it's sort of a way of speaking that people wouldn't understand.
I channeled like Valley Girl, Popular Girl. It was very strange.
But yeah, so you can explain to the party briefly what she was talking about
Upstairs in
before.
our room.
Yeah.
Also, would you say that Indy would be able to understand what was being said between Black Viper and?
Yes, you have Thieves' Cant, right? You would understand it.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
She didn't. It didn't come across immediately that was your
Okay.
profession, though.
Yeah,
So
but
she wasn't assigned to you as well, but you would have understood it.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you guys get back to your room.
Aelin says, "All right. Sorry for the proper talk.
Actually, could
Did anybody catch what was going on?"
More or less. Her dickhead brother fell down that well and got lost. We've got to. Well, if we find him, we get paid.
Or you find evidence of where he is, as in, if he's deceased, you bring back his body, or failing that, you bring back the ring, that sort of thing.
Yeah. That was for his TLDR.
But there was something before that she was talking about to Evelyn.
Aelin doesn't tell him that.
Okay. Fine then. That's up to you.
Not yet. Not yet. Unless they like explicitly ask about it, but
All right, so it looks like you guys have, while in the Undermountain trying to find Abraxas, there's another thing you can do in there. Trying to find one Chrysando Rajnar. If you're successful in finding him, you, as Vela, will pay you 2,000 gold, which is all of her money.
all that information is in Team Soteria chat, guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
Black Viper will pay us 2,000.
No, as Vela will pay
As Vela was-
2,000.
They're the same. It's 10 to 5. I'm tired.
Right. You are in the UK.
It's like it's only midnight. What are you talking about?
But anyway, so you guys are discussing this unexpected quest, but a profitable one. Like Vera said, it does take 1 gold per person to have Durnan lower you into the Undermountain via the portal via the yawning portal.
Let's do it.
Mm. How deep is it?
You would not know because you've never been here, but someone who's from Waterdeep can roll a history check.
I'll have a look down.
Oh, you can't see the bottom.
Does it just
In our
ebb
room,
into
anyway.
Does it just ebb into
Oh, that was
blackness?
that one. Gross.
Yeah,
Or I'll have looked in.
even
I'll have
even
looked
with
down.
dark vision, even if you had enhanced dark vision 120 feet, it still goes down further than that.
Okay.
You're a long way down.
Do you know how? Because do you know how deep the hole goes?
All the stature ones all are on the board.
Oh man.
Wait,
Well,
can I roll?
you guys critted earlier, so I mean that's
Wait,
just
should
balancing
I-
itself out.
Should I do a history?
I was
Sam
gonna say,
here?
Yeah, you can do a history.
Hey.
Yay!
So you're not
I
sure
don't
how
know.
deep the shaft is into the Undermountain, but you're pretty sure you heard the Undermountain itself has a number of levels to it, and you think
Now.
it was around 20 levels in total. And let me make sure that's right. Because it's been a while since I've read the book.
I think it's like 23.
Yeah, I said around 20 because she didn't roll high or super high.
She says out of character, knowing absolutely nothing about what they're talking about because she's rolled 3.
Freya's just not going to roll. She wouldn't know about Under Mountain.
But yeah, you think it's around 20 levels in total. You have heard of Skullport before. It's sort of the only sort of settlement in Undermountain. But you've only heard of it in rumors. It's supposedly a city established and run by drow.
Can I walk over to the barkeep? Is the owner of the yawning portal, right?
Durnan, yes, Durnan is the proprietor, the owner.
Would
Barkeep,
I know
what
how much it costs to get down into the portal?
Yes, 1 gold per person.
Never mind then.
I ask him how far down the portal goes. Or the well, as they would call it.
Let's see. I'm trying to say there's an. It probably is in the book, but I don't want to go get the book and read it and to find it. Okay.
I have the book.
It descends
Right.
140 feet down.
Right, now I'm even more tempted to jump in.
And every 10 feet is a d6, so
I know.
that's 14 d6.
Such a bad idea. Do it.
Half. Yeah,
No,
I'm really tempted.
You would
Tabling
fall out of
camera,
rage because it would take you longer than a turn to get down there, and then you would fall out of rage. You're not hitting anything.
Yeah, you just rage right before you hit the bottom.
Yeah.
You'd be fine.
Not all of us have Featherfall.
Oh, I don't even have it set today.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can all jump down. You don't you don't know the exact distance, though. You can't see the bottom, so that's out of character knowledge. You just be jumping down.
Also, guys, my watch can't detect my heartbeat. I think I'm dead.
But yeah, Durnan will say to you, Caxi says, "Oh, he says it's a ways down. You'll definitely need mechanical assistance or magical assistance to get to the bottom, unless you fancy broken legs or pelvis, that sort of thing."
Also, you fall at 588 meters a minute.
We're not Haven's views. Feet.
Bye, Hannah.
I'm still here. I'm just exhausted.
Sleep.
I don't want to miss out on too much.
All right. if you guys want to continue, you'll sort of be, if you go to Undermountain, you'll sort of be like locked down there. So something to consider before.
If Hannah's going, I think we should wait.
Is there an urgency to this?
Not particularly, as far as I know. It's no like Sorry, let me rephrase that.
They're mine
There-
now.
She has not been given a time limit. Caxer hasn't, but you know, Devils obviously would prefer sooner rather than later. It's very clear she wants it done as fast as possible, but that wasn't stipulated in your contract,
It has been like 7 years.
so it's up to you.
I'm good. We can go if you guys want. Guys in? Are we going?
Out of character, Hannah, how do you feel about this?
Character is good to go, but I am trying so hard to stay awake. I'm really sorry. I think I have to go. I've been up way too many hours. But yeah, in character, Cassie is ready to go. Fine with it. I'm just a little worried that I won't be able to like actually play all that much.
Yeah, if you guys want to
Yeah,
end for the night, we can, and then we can pick up next week, or you can do some other stuff around town before Caxter gets back, and you can finally descend into the Yawning Portal, or into the Undermountain via the Yawning Portal. If it hasn't been clear enough, Vera has told you the Yawning Portal is a very dangerous place, so there will be we usually don't have multiple counters per day, but there's multiple encounters that you'll face in the Yawning Portal, because it is essentially a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pulling directly from the book, The Mad Mage. I shorten it a lot because that's not the campaign we're running. We're not running Dungeon Crawl, but there are more encounters than usual that you guys will face down there. Something to consider. Like I said, if you guys want to continue, we can, or we can end it for the night.
I just want Caxier to be able to play out her story and be here for it.
Yeah.
So, are you going to be here next session, or is there an issue with that?
She's going to Scotland.
She's going to Scotland.
And then Indy, well, next week I think Indy's in Africa too.
Or like traveling.
We're traveling
Sure.
too.
You're in Africa?
I cast Bless
Jesus.
on Africa.
You bless the rains down
I bless the rains on
I
Africa.
will.
Like I said, it's up to you guys. We can stop here. We can continue.
See, if
So you
we're
guys go.
missing, like, Hannah's away for 2 weeks.
I'm gonna head to bed.
Yeah.
Night.
I think we should end it now with Gax here leaving too.
Yeah, end it
I
now,
agree.
yeah.
All right.
I had more exercise today than I've had in really.
All right. So you guys are ending it as you're just pondering the depths of the portal, or the hole into the Undermountain, and that's where we end the session.
We fade to black on Freya saying, I'm pretty sure I could survive jumping down there.
Oh,
Fade to black.
getting back up, that will be a problem though. But that's it. All right.
I got you. I got levitate. You'll be fine.
Just tie 3 ropes together.
All right. And with that, we'll end the stream. We'll see you guys next week. We're missing some people, but there should still be shenanigans to be had. All right, I'm going to end the stream, and we can still stick around for table talk. That's just between us, not for Strams.